Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. The purpose of this video is I'm jumping on a thread response created by a good friend of the VC, Sam St. John. Basically, if I understand it right, it's just that picking out some albums that, it's a Thanksgiving thread that you think or you feel like are the band or an artist turkey albums. Not so good. They're like, in other words, meaning, in my opinion, a dud. Something also you have it too, and you're like, I don't think that's one of their best albums out of some of their albums. So let me go ahead. I picked out a few here, so let me go ahead and get started. Okay. Supertramp, Famous Last Words. I could make a joke that, yeah, this could be the last album, their famous last words. I believe the album after that too is not that great, Free as a Bird or something to that effect. But I really remember that the really catchy song on here, it's the tune "It's Raining Again." But this album is, in my opinion, not one of their best. Like I said, I hardly ever really play it, and I feel like it doesn't have like what their other albums had, like Breakfast in America or Crime of the Century. It just sort of goes more into more pop, radio friendly, maybe trying to put some songs that they had set aside for the longest time and trying to revamp them to make another Supertramp release. But it's not a record that I play a lot, but when I do, it's mainly to hear the song "It's Raining Again." It is a catchy guilty pleasure song for me. Next is Gentle Giant's "Giant for a Day," an album that I really don't play a lot. In fact, I play their album "Civilian" more, or an album like "Missing Pieces" or "Piece" more. But this album feels like it's trying to be. I feel like the band is trying to, or maybe they were given some direction to be more radio friendly, get some more pop audience to a very progressive band. Gentle Giant, one of my favorite bands. This album does has its moments. There's some good songs, and like those albums that we want to hear once in a while, one of those 2 or 3 or 4 good songs, we'll bring it out and give it a spin. So there it is, folks. Giant for a Day. Next is Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Love Beach. Not one of their best. The album cover is cheesy, but it does have some highs and lows. But if you're new to their catalog, you're not going to get Pictures at an Exhibit or Brain Salad Surgery or those kind of albums. But if I could say that there is one track that's really my favorite, is the side 2, the Memoirs of an Officer and a Gentleman. That's a pretty nice suite. That's what I figured. It's kind of proggish, has some really good moments. It shines. It makes it worth getting this album. And if you want to be a completist on Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Love Beach. Next is an album 2 by a band that I like. I like their first album, but this album kind of doesn't have the same as their album Sports or any of the other albums, and I'm referring to Huey Lewis and the News. Small World is the name of the album. The big hit was Perfect World. There are some songs on here that I can see why it just kind of crash and burn, and what probably saved this album to get some commercial success and some sales is the single "Perfect World," which is probably one out of all the rest the best song on this record. It's not a bad sounding record. The production on it sounds really, really good. But maybe, they always say sometimes there's writer's block or we hit a dry well or whatever. But hey, they managed to get an album out. Small World. Huey Lewis and the News. This next one also, another turkey, is one of my favorite folk guitarists and songwriters, and that's Stephen Stills' Thoroughbred Fair Gap, if I said that correctly. Disappointment, because the first two records, and then of course his work with Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young, that's what I was hoping to get. I like Stephen Stills. I like his his singing. I like his writing, and I like his guitar playing, his acoustic guitar playing. But this record tries to go into the realm of disco, which I feel like that's not really Stephen Stills, so I don't know if it was just trying to be radio friendly and get some airplay, but it falls short for finishing the race. So, and my last one is by a band that I like, Renaissance. Annie Haslam has one of the best vocals, female vocals of all time. I love her singing. This is an album put on IRS Records. It's called, I think it's their 10th album. It's called Camera Camera. If you're looking for an album like their earlier records, it's not going to sound like that, folks. In fact, a few of the members left the band, and this record seems to, again, try to get some commercialness. It's not that great, but also at the same time, it's not that bad. I mean, it does get spun by me once in a while, but, unfortunately, hey, this album doesn't just line up to some of their iconic albums that they have had in their past, even the live album. But anyway, here's the back cover. So, hopefully this is a good thread response, and hopefully I'll get some views. Usually when I do these thread response videos, not too many views, but oh well. I guess one is better than none. Folks, I'll leave a link to Sam St. John's channel. You can go check out his video, sub him up. I'll see you real soon. Take care.